the next episode of Career Confessions, Spill the Tea, where we dissect people's anonymous career dilemmas or professional dilemmas on our series or new segment. And if you'd like yours to be featured, the form will be linked down below. The stories are shared anonymously, and please feel free to join in the fun. Without further ado, today's episode is about an individual. I don't ask for gender. An individual in the fintech industry. They have 6 to 10 years experience. They are mid in their career level, and their location is Kenya. So here is the dilemma. Having worked for an organization for almost 5 years, I have been elevated, in quotes, to a managerial role without managerial benefits. Picture this. People have resigned and you silently were promoted to pick up their slack, as they haven't been replaced, those vacancies that is. Despite all that, you have been hitting your deliverables and not once have you been called out for not performing. In fact, you are still exceeding expectations. But have you gotten any compensation? They go on and on and on about the economic situation, how it's hurting the organization, but still they haven't employed new people, and they still employ people coming in at salary bands that would make you weep. So basically, I think they're saying that they keep replacing a few people here and there, and they get higher salaries than the one she or he is trying to negotiate for. But they can't compensate their already struggling employees. So surely, wouldn't it be cheaper to give a raise to the ones who are already within the organization rather than hire from external and give them higher funds? The most laughable part is when people are giving notice of resignation. That's when they are asking you to give them a chance to counter that they already had plans for you. Surely. This is something that, oh my goodness, happens so many times in the corporate world. Oh my God. I would even like to put a pause here and ask, has anybody ever taken a counter from their current employer? Because from the time I've been in corporate, everyone and their mother has always said, never take a counter offer, never take a counter offer. One, because if they really wanted to compensate you correctly, why didn't they give you earlier? And two, most of the time, if you take the counter, they already know you had one leg out the door. So probably they will not treat you as a loyal employee now that you've stayed, something like that. But I don't know. Give your opinion down in the comments. But I have several thoughts on this one. Organizations do this, and not location specific, regardless of wherever you work. They do this a lot. They never promote, quote unquote, their internal employees. They never give you the compensation that you truly deserve, especially when people are leaving and you get more work, which is not fair. And that is something that we should all normalize by at the point of being added for more things on your desk. That's the point to negotiate. Don't accept work without commensurate pay. There's a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, who taught me that, like, anytime you're added for work on your desk, it should come with additional pay. Because I mean, you're being added for, you're still the same person. What capacity do you have to take more work, except the compensation that should come ordinarily with that? But I know in the Kenyan context, for example, for the people who are primarily my audience, it's something that we've struggled with. Even I struggled with it when I was still based in Kenya, getting, your leader to give you the correct compensation. The one thing that I always encourage people that I know, because me, I'm not a HR expert, is always, now this is the time to grind and try and get a job outside. Because even most of the career coaches that we see online, or people who are in the HR space, they always say this: internal promotions within the same organization could never beat jumping from another organization. It's always 30+% increases within organizations. At a 10% will be lucky if you get that one. You know what I mean? So one encouraging thing would be to try and get an external role outside of your organization. Internal promotions could never compete. Another thing would be, given that you already are in this situation and you already know the struggles, when you sit in fields too long, it starts smelling. Have you heard that? Yes. So don't overstay. You're welcome. When you already can see the vibes that you're already being excused without being excused, take the hint and just dip as fast as you can. But granted, I'd like to acknowledge the fact that the Kenyan job market is not at its best at this time. So please do it in a very calculated way. Like, we know so many people who are out of work now the USAID people, and already the macroeconomics of Kenya were not great. Businesses are shutting down. So this is also not the best time to be in the job market, but at the same time, you feel like you're not fairly being compensated. Honestly, giving more to already somebody who doesn't appreciate you is not going to get them to appreciate you more, you know? Anyway, if you like the series, like, follow, subscribe. Drop your story in the comment section. My disclaimer, like I always say, I am not a career coach, HR professional. I'm just sharing stories. For those of us who are getting into the corporate world, you know what you're getting into. And for us who are in the corporate world, to get a feeling of relief that you are not alone. We are all going through this. So if you like the series, drop your story and look out for the next episode next week. Ciao.